and welcome to Bourbon Bites Whiskey Reviews with an 80s twist. I'm your host, Clifton, and welcome to another Thursday night live stream. We are into the holidays. I'm gearing up for my top 10 whiskeys of the year, which will be next week's live stream. But I realized there was a brand that I have bought bottles of, but haven't actually had a chance to try or review for you guys here on the channel. So I'm very, very excited to introduce to the channel, most of you probably already know the brand, 2XO Bourbon, of course, by a very well-known figure in the world of blending, Dixon Dedman, formerly of Kentucky Owl. And we have 5 different expressions. So I see Fred's comment description says 3, thumbnail shows 5. Well, it was 3 until I decided to stop by my Total Wine store on the way home from work today about 2 or 3 hours ago, and I found 2 additional expressions. So we're going to do all 5 today. So I updated the thumbnail. Thank you for the reminder. Did not update the description. But yeah, we're going to do 5 different expressions of 2XO Bourbon. I'm very, very excited. Like I said, I've heard so much great stuff about this. Kentucky Owl, I've had, bits and pieces of some of their releases. Not too much experience with it, but really, really excited to finally dive into this new brand. So, by the way, apologies for being late. Those of you that are watching live, I had a little bit of a late start today. Like I said, I had to stop and get those bottles, but also I'm still working. It's a busy week for me, trying to get ahead of the holidays with work. So I appreciate your forgiveness if you choose to forgive me. If not, you can leave. It's fine. But if you choose to stay, hello, hit the thumbs up. And if you are happy to see me, or if you just really want the stream to be over with faster, because we got 45 more minutes or so to go. But no, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you are new to the channel, or if you are, a regular viewer, but you've not yet subscribed. Hit the button. It does help out the channel a ton. And of course, join our Discord community and our Patreon community. Such great collections of people. Patreon, y'all know we have our monthly movie night tomorrow night. Just a reminder, this is to watch Gremlins, which was chosen as the Christmas movie of this year. I think last year we watched Die Hard. We like to be pretty weird with our selections here, but we're going to watch Gremlins, which is technically a Christmas movie. We're going to watch it 7 p.m. Pacific tomorrow night on Discord. So if you are a patron, you get access to that if you're at the $5 tier and above. And of course, lots of other benefits. But most of all, I'm just glad that you're here celebrating another Thursday, making it to Thursday with me, whether you're watching the replay or live. So let me get caught up in the chat. Like I said, I knew I was running late, so I appreciate you guys stopping in and saying hello. Zopher's here, Tony, and Todd. Wow, great lineup. Fred is here as well. And of course, Emily coming in. We love Chaos Cliffy. This is a bit of Chaos Cliffy. I'm not fully chaotic, but I definitely was frantically running to get ready for tonight's stream. Who else is here? Feel free to say hello if you're in the chat. Taste and Sensibility, what's up, Doug? Cheers, everyone. 2XOs are ready. Oh, you're going to be drinking along with us. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Again, I've only... I was like, oh my God, I only have 3. I've only tried 2 of these, of the 5. So I'm very, very excited. It's going to be an honest, real first impression of these. Sean is here as well. Other Tony says $5 says he fails. Wait, fails at what? Oh, I missed this Tony message. Can I drink all 9 of my bottles of 2XO before the after party? Stay tuned to find out and join the Discord to see what happens. Well, people can only be there if they are patrons. So if anyone wants to see Tony/Anthony/Tony Joey drink 9 bottles of 2XO, feel free to join an after party hangout. Otherwise, I will not be that drunk. Hopefully, we'll see. But we'll see. We'll see how much I enjoy this. I'm excited for it. Cool Runnings in the chat. What's up? Good to see you. Who else is here? Don Nishida. Aloha, all the way from Hawaii. What's up, Don? Matthew Parks is here as well. Wow, great. Got my Innkeeper's blend. Okay, yeah, like I said, I'm brand new to the brand. I had 3 expressions already. Hadn't reviewed them on the channel, so I stopped by my Total Wine on the way home from work today, and I was like, I'll grab 2 more. So if you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're drinking. We're going to start with the Oak series. This is the American Oak. This is just the Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey coming in at 46% ABV, 92 proof. That's one of the ones I already had, but I went to Total Wine and I saw, they also have the French Oak. So this isn't part of the oak series as well. Same proof. It's just French oak barrels. How do they do? I don't know the full details of whether they're just doing staves or barrels or what. But we'll dive into it. I got some more info pulled up here on the side, so I'll get into it when I get to it. Next up, we have the. Let's hold on that one for a minute. We have the Tribute Blend, which is I don't know if it's a 2023 or 2024 release, but this one is about $95 retail. Now, a lot of these I did get on clearance because K&L Wine and Spirits in Southern California put a lot of these on clearance, which is why I bit the bullet and decided to buy a bunch of them. So, but the retail on this is around $95. Of course, we have the Gem of Kentucky, which is one of the highest end 2XO products. I'm very excited. I have opened this one, but I'm excited to give it an honest review. And lastly, we have, I think, their newest release. This is from October of this year. This is the Sneakerhead Blend. Just saw this at Total Wine today. Again, just picked it up. 52% ABV. So I think what we'll do, order-wise, we'll probably do American Oak, French Oak, Tribute Blend, Sneakerhead Blend, and then the Gem of Kentucky. If that sounds good to y'all. I think that's basically based on price, right? Both the American Oak and the French Oak were around $45 for me. Tribute and Sneakerhead around $100, and then Gem of Kentucky, I think the retail on that's almost $200. Let's say I did not pay that, but retail on it, yeah, $200. I paid about $130, $140, something like that. So it was on sale, but should be a very fun stream. I'm very, very excited to get into these. I see Sean said I expect the Sneakerhead to taste like a shoe. You know, I half expected that in the tasting notes as well. I'm like, oh, well, I do like leather, right? I like leather notes in a whiskey. Now, shoe, gym socks, not really my vibe, but you know, some people might like it. We'll see. Let's see. Tasting Sensibility said I splurged on Kentucky Owl Rye Batch 3. It was great. I savored every milliliter, so I was willing to try the 2XO treatment as well. So far, so good. So good to hear. Awesome. Well, let me know what you guys are drinking in the chat. If you have a 2XO or a Kentucky Owl or just some good bourbon or beverage of choice, let me know in the chat. Todd said he has the Phoenix Blend, the Sneakerhead Blend, and a Gem. Awesome. Well, that's good to hear, Todd. By the way, Todd is one of our, Todd and Fred, I know Fred's here as well. They are my Bourbon Terabytes patrons, which is my $50 level. They actually get to help me pick this year's top whiskeys of the year. I've sent them both a blind flight along with a blind flight for myself. We're going to do it this Sunday. We're going to taste through them blind. Now, they may or may not all be my top 10, but it's a good selection of what I'm feeling towards, like for my top 10. So we're going to go through them. We're going to taste them. We're going to rank them. We're going to reveal what they are. Todd and Fred, I haven't asked y'all this, but I think it'd be kind of cool to do a patron-only live stream. If y'all are up for it, if y'all are up for us to broadcast ourselves tasting, just for patrons, of course, not totally public, let me know. I'll text y'all later about it. By the way, your sample should arrive by tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I think one of them said Saturday. Todd, you have 2 small boxes. Fred, you have 1 larger box. So same samples, but I ran out of boxes. So let's chat. Let's figure it out. But yeah, stay tuned. Those of you that are here in the chat, next week I will be picking my top 10 whiskeys of the year next Thursday. So yeah, patron only live stream as we do some ranking this weekend, just a little bit experimenting. But next Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, I will be listing my top 10 of the year. So it should be a lot of fun. Hit subscribe, hit the bell button if you don't want to miss that and get the first look at my top 10. All right. Great deal on the Gem of Kentucky. Yeah, I think so too. Like I said, it was like $140. I had to buy them up. I was like, I've always been curious about these. They've always been a bit pricey for me, but I'm glad to, try them. I'm going to review them as if I paid retail, as I feel like I should. They're not on sale everywhere. So we're gonna go through them, but let's start with the American Oak, shall we? So this is probably one of their core lineup releases, 46% ABV. This is part of their Oak series, and I was curious if they had some info on their website, particularly about this Oak series. Let's see. American Oak is the first blend in the Oak series, an innovative double oak technique where Dixon introduces additional charred oak to barrels with a moderate amount of rye in the mash bill. So these are all blends. Like I said, Dixon's known for his blending abilities, master powers, as some people say. So these are sourced. Now, this is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So even though it is a blend, there is a lot of rye in the mash bill. It is still a bourbon. I don't think we have the mash bill info. We just know that it has, like this, the back of the bottle also says highly charred white oak introduced towards the end of maturation. So we'll see. Produced and bottled by the Prestige Beverage Group, Louisville, Kentucky. So yeah, not too much info on it, but let's go ahead and try it. Donnie's here. Let's. Oh wow, lots of folks coming in. Oh, good to see y'all. Thank you for stopping in. Don't want to miss anyone. I thought someone said Donnie was here. I don't see him yet, but Bourbon Before Bacon is in the chat. What's up? Sean, of course. Jerry Black as well. Cheers to you and Donnie and Jim O Huskers. Cheers. Just picked up the Sneakers 2XO. Haven't cracked it yet. Well, I'm right there with you. I literally just bought it at Total Wine earlier this afternoon. So I have not cracked mine yet. So maybe we'll try it together. Let me know what you think in the chat. But also, hi. Welcome. Good to see you. And Cheech is here as well. Oh, how's it going, Cheech? Hope you are doing well, my friend. All right, we're going to pour the first one. This is the American Oak, part of the Oak series. Like I said, I paid about, these go for about $45 each. I think I probably got this one a little bit cheaper because I got it when it was on sale. But the French Oak, which was about the same price, about like $45-ish. I don't have my receipt in front of me. Now, the American Oak came out in September of 23. The French Oak actually is a recent release from August of 24. So we're going to try them both. I'm going to go ahead and open the French Oak just so they can open up the same amount of time. Give them a fair review. Now, those of you that have watched my channel know I do really appreciate French Oak. I've really loved some of like Maker's 46 with the French Oak cask finish on that, or the stave finish. Love it. So I'm excited. I think it really complements bourbon, especially if it's potentially younger bourbon. I don't know the age of the bourbon that's in this blend, but I do know younger bourbon actually really works so well with the French Oak staves. All right, so we got the American and the French poured. We'll start with the American, of course, but I'm going to let them open up the same amount of time. Matthew says, I just recently started enjoying a new bottle of Conviction French Oak, so now I'm interested in the 2XO French Oak. Nice, nice. All right, so we have the American Oak here in front of me. Like I said, this is a September 2023 release. I'm going to give it a palate cleanse. I'm going into this right after dinner, so want to make sure it's a fair comparison. All right, so let's start with the American Oak. Now, I'm sure that some of you in the chat might be more of not just familiar with the brand, but just, have been following Dixon for a long time. I know there are some super fans out there. Some folks that have hung out with him and met him and had a great time. I'm not one of those people. I've never had the chance to go out and hang out with him, but that's why I feel like this is kind of a completely unbiased review. I don't have any personal connections other than I've heard that he's a fantastic host at the what's the inn that he does tastings at? I don't know. I've just heard amazing stories, but this is just my honest review of this brand for the price. So consider that. No hard feelings. Hopefully, he and the brand can appreciate an honest review. I bought these all with my own money. None were sent to me by the brand, so I like being honest with you guys. Even if they did send me stuff, I'm always honest. I just have a disclaimer sometimes if I've listed a bottle. All right, let's give it a nose. Okay. Like I said, I had a feeling that these were probably going to be some younger bourbons. There's no age statement here on the American Oak release, but I do feel like there is a bit of a youthful quality to it. It's a little bit of a sweeter, citrusy kind of note, which I sometimes get on some younger bourbons. Which, let me put a disclaimer: that's not a bad thing. I appreciate some 5 to 7 year old bourbons for what they are. But if you're doing something cool, like doing a cool finish on them, or doing a cool extra aging, I'm all here for it. So don't take me saying that it's like simple or expected as a bad thing. For me, it's more of like, okay, I know what I'm getting into. I'm not going to expect this to be drink like a 10, 12-year-old bourbon. I'm going to go into it a little bit, assume it's a bit younger. Again, I don't know. Oh, Cheech says he heard it's 3 years old. Okay, that would even more explain some of those notes I'm getting on it. Beaumont Inn. Oh, they don't do tastings anymore. Again, I don't really know. Do you know if the French Oak is toasted or charred or used? We'll find out in just a minute. I'll pull up the page in a second. We're starting with the American. I don't know any additional info beyond what I've read. We do know. Let's see. An innovative double oak technique where Dixon inserts chains of charred American oak into barrels with a moderate rye bourbon mash bill of 18%. So I assume that means 18% rye. Is that what I'm reading? So it's like what, like 80 something percent bourbon, something percent malted barley, 18% rye. Relatively high rye content, if that's what that's saying. Again, I just have the info that's here on the website. Fred, he got a great. Me, yeah, I did get a good deal on it. All right. I'm liking the nose on it. Getting a little bit of that extra char quality that you get for like a double barreled. We've all not we. I don't want to say we've all. A lot of us have had double barrel bourbons or finished bourbons. We kind of are familiar with that extra char layer that comes with it, especially like a double oaked release. But yeah, but I think I'm still getting that citrus, that really bright, sweet vanilla kind of note that you would expect for a younger bourbon. But let's see how it tastes. Cheers, y'all. And thank you again for tuning in live or on the replay. Okay. Definitely young. I'll say that. I was saying like I was guessing like 5 to 7 just because I honestly didn't know. When she said 3, I was like, oh, that seems a little young. Surely not. And then I tasted it, I'm like, yeah, it's a little young. Which makes me wonder, like, is this I said it was sourced, but I don't actually have confirmation on that. They don't say that they distilled it on the bottle, so maybe I'm just missing some info here. But yeah, that's pretty young. But it's not bad. It's just it's so hard with like American oak too, right? Like, yes, you're doing a double oak finish, but you're putting it in the same barrels that it started in. So it's really hard to tell how much of that is coming from that double oak, that the 2 times oak, or how much of it is coming from just the bourbon itself in the first aging stage. Let's give it another try. Yeah, it's got a bit of like it's kind of got like a this is a really weirdly specific note, but it's like a peanut skin, like like a roasted peanut. Like there's that skin layer that's sometimes in there, but like a little bit of that, like not quite nutty, like not like peanut butter or anything, but like that little like salty, a little bit barky. Is that a word? I don't know. It's got that character there, which I'm into. I love a good nutty bourbon, but I will say, it's not overly complex. I don't know if it's meant to be. Again, around $40, not too pricey. Yeah, it's enjoyable. It drinks like some other lower end bourbons that I've tried that are a bit lower price range. Um, do I love this American oak? Not necessarily. I think it's a fine bourbon. I think it is a bit pricey. I don't think that the things that I love about a double oaked bourbon, I don't think they're standing out here. I think there are some nice that nuttiness, that like little nut skin. Oh, that sounds awful. That that like roasted peanut kind of note. I really appreciate, but I feel like this needs a little bit going for it. And it needs a little more time, maybe in the barrel, before doing the finish. Mm. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. Not at all. It's a very easily approachable bourbon. Doug said I met Dixon at Whiskey Weekend Batch 3 and was great to hear him talk and present. That's all I've heard is great things. That's amazing. Let's see. Gandhi wrote here in the chat as well. What's up? How's it going? Uh, Gandhi said I prefer the 2XO French oak to American oak. Oh, that's good to hear. We're moving to that one next. Okay, I was gonna say the American, like it's not bad. It's just not at least something to be desired. So that's good to hear. Calumet 16 is a great pour. I know Fred is a big fan of the Calumet line. Doug says I don't get any youth on the American oak, but at 92 proof, there's not a lot of punch either. Yeah, when I say young, it's not like an off-putting like craft kind of note. To me, it's just more of like that. When I think of a young bourbon, it's that really really sweet no oak like influence. Like to me, that's a telltale sign. There we go. Telltale sign that to me it's a younger bourbon. It just I look for that oak. I love that oak note from some older bourbons, and if it's not there and it's just sweet, I assume it's a little younger. Again, not bad. A great place to start. What a perfect pour to start our night with. Because we're only going to go up from here, I imagine. What's up, Gary? Oh man, I appreciate it. I love seeing some people turn out that I haven't seen in a while. Prescription bourbon as well. What's up, DMC? Like, man, so good to see y'all. I'm glad to see you back. Hopefully, you are having a great holiday season. I said at the beginning of the stream, but I'm going to do my top 10 whiskeys of the year next week, same time. So if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe so you can be the first to hear my top 10 whiskeys of the year. As I said bourbons, but I'm gonna limit it to top 10 American whiskeys of the year. I know sometimes I'll throw in like a wild card, like an Irish or a Scotch or something. This year I'm gonna have 10 specific American whiskeys. That's the plan so far. Might have a shout out to one or two outside of that realm, but that's my goal. I'm very, very excited. I'm not calling anyone biased. No, I'm just saying I don't have nothing. No one can accuse me of being biased because I don't have a bias. I just say that because I know if I knew someone closely that was behind a brand, I would admit that I do have a bias behind it. I mean, now there's not very many people that I do know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not claiming that people are biased. Fred, don't call me out. Save this for the after party. Call me out in the after party. Emily says busier tonight. I know. So good to see y'all. All right, let's move on to the second pour. Let's keep it moving, right? We've got a bit of a late start today, so we might go a little bit over 8 p.m. tonight. But we're gonna try to keep it still under an hour. So that's what I like to do. I have heard people say that they appreciate the shorter streams, so we're gonna stick with it. So that was the American Oak. Let me set this down here, and let's move to the brand new. Well, new to me. I just bought it. Came out in August of this year. The French Oak. Same price, by the way. This is part of the Oak series. 2XO French Oak Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 46%, 92 proof. I was about to pour it again. I've already poured it. So let's see what the back of the bottle says. Let's see. Blends bold. Oh, those are tasting notes. I don't like reading tasting notes. Highly charred French oak introduced towards the end of maturation. Spice notes from the rye and the mash bill. So I'm going to take a gander. Not a gandy, but a gander. That this is the same mash bill as the American Oak. Just the description makes me feel like it probably is. The other one said 18%. Let me see if I can go to the page for that one. So let's see. This is the August 2024 release. 18. It's the same mash bill. That's what I thought. I was only going to guess. But same mash bill, but they're using a chain of charred French oak versus American oak. I would love to see that process done. I'm sure there's a video somewhere, but it sounds so interesting. Fred said, did you say 3 years? That would require an age statement. I never saw one. That's a great call, right? Because if it's a straight bourbon, it has to be at least 4 years old. I think that was just speculation in the chat. I think someone said that they had heard that it was 3 years old, but that's a great call. If it says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, it has to be at least 4 years old without an age statement. So I'd probably lean towards 4 versus older. It definitely has some youthful characteristics to it. But very cool, man. Fred, you're on it. I love it. Clifton being biased, nut skin. The after party is going to be interesting. Oh, there will be plenty of nut skin to. No. It's not that kind of after party. That's the late show after party. I'm just kidding. That's only for Bourbon Daddies, which there is a Patreon tier called Bourbon Daddy. Only one person has ventured to see what comes with the Bourbon Daddy subscription. Barton. That's the guess, right? Again, I don't know for sure. Tony loves some French oak. Doug says, I've never seen the French oak in the wild, but I'll be looking for it. Yeah, I literally just walked into a Total Wine today. It was like 45 or 49. I forget which one. But yeah, just on the shelf. Now, the sneaker blend that I just picked up was also at Total Wine, but it said limited release and it wasn't able to be ordered online. So I had to go look. I saw it in the store. It was there, but I couldn't order it online. But the French oak should be available. Dixon doesn't distill its all sorts. That's what I assume. Fred, I think you're behind in the chat. Like, I feel like you were commenting on things that I said like 10 minutes ago. Does anyone else feel like that, or am I going crazy? I feel like Fred is like 10 minutes behind. Put a picture of the chain. Tony put a picture of his chains in the after party chat. Wow, it's about to get wild. You know what? I don't BDSM shame, you know? Cliffy After Dark. That's right. All right, let's move on to the French oak. Again, Same proof, same mash bill supposedly, probably same age, same price. But let's go and give it a nose. I'm typically a fan of French oak. Oh, okay, yeah, it's different. Let me just nose the American real quick. American's just such a classic vanilla. I get like an orange zest or something, like an old fashioned kind of with the American. This one's a bit richer, a little dark chocolate. Maybe some like nutmeg. I was gonna say cinnamon, but it's not like that spice that comes with cinnamon. Definitely more of like the baking spices, which I've always heard about French oak, but now that I'm nosing it, looking for those, I'm like, yeah, it's absolutely. Gandhi says Kiowa is my favorite of the $100 bottles. Sneakerhead somewhere in the middle. No, I've seen that label. I'm assuming it's a reference to Kiowa Island. I'm from South Carolina, so I saw Kiowa. I'm like, I definitely like that's definitely. I if it's not, that's really strange coincidence because of course I've not seen that out here. I'm in California now, but I saw Kiowa. I'm like, if that's Kiowa Island, that's really cool. I would love to buy it just as like a tribute to the Carolinas. If anyone knows, let me know. Doug said I've seen the sneakerhead at Total Wine, but for $100 I need a referral from someone. Well, you might get it here, you might not. We'll see. You're gonna want to join Patreon for this after party Photoshop. Seriously though, if anyone is interested in joining Patreon, I would welcome you to our community. We also have some free memberships available. If you just want to kind of get a sneak peek at what we do, but there is a 30-day free trial of our Bourbon Megabyte tier, which gets you access to the after party, gets you access to tomorrow's movie night screening, and you get some status on Discord. So if you want to try it out for 30 days, consider this a Christmas gift to yourself. Just sign up for the subscription for 30 days. See if you like it. If you don't, drop it in the new year. I don't care. But I do appreciate the support for anyone that's willing to stick around and support the channel. So, all right. I've nosed the French oak. So far, I'm loving the nose. Let's see how it tastes. Cheers. Kiowa Island is where you vacationed as a kid. Nice. Okay. Yeah. I went to college near there, so very, very familiar with it. Okay. Yeah, there's way more spice going on. Even though it is the same proof, those like baking spices are really standing out. Again, it's not cinnamon. It's definitely more of a I said nutmeg earlier, maybe clove. I don't know. I'm not a spice expert. Emily knows. She calls me out all the time for it. This I can tell that something extra has been done to it. The standard, the American oak, to me tasted as expected. It didn't really stand out or like seem interesting to me at all. The French oak, though, y'all know I'm a sucker for French oak. This one I like. I honestly would say, if you have a palate similar to mine, I would say skip the American oak, go straight to the French oak. This is the newer release, first of all, so it might be more available. For the price point, for about $45 to $49, I do recommend it. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to see the influence of French oak casks on a bourbon whiskey. One, this doesn't taste as young, even though I assume they're probably the same age-ish, same mash bill. But man, there's way more flavor going on with the French oak, way more nuance to it. I mean, this is, for the price, again, sub $50 bottle. I do like that. That's really, really good. So far the French oak is doing it for me, but we got 3 more whiskeys to get through tonight. So, what do you guys, so those of you that are fans and that have been following the brand for a while, do you recommend, I assume Sneakerhead's the newest one, but so we should try the Tribute Blend first, right? That's my thinking, but let me know if I'm wrong about that. Sneakerhead came out in October of 2024. I'm just gonna see if I can pull up the Tribute Blend. Let's see, 2XO Tribute Blend. Here we go. Oh no, they've removed it from the website because it was probably last year's release. There we go, Tribute Blend. Found it. Okay, September 2023. So this one came out with the American oak. It was one of the first releases. Got it. Okay. What's up, Bourbon Noob? What's up, Patrick? Hope you're doing well. Don't threaten me with a good time. I don't know what I'm threatening you with, but Fred said, "Ah, I thought it was Clifton's chat that was lagging." Nope, I was my video somehow behind. Fred, so I questioned a few minutes ago. I'm like, I think Fred's like 10 minutes behind, but like you guys tell me. So I figured. But I think we caught the gist of what we were saying to each other. You may not have heard my answers, but good. Glad you're caught up, Fred. What level gets access to the after party? Great question. So that is the $10 tier. So that we do an after party hangout after every live stream on Thursdays. So um, we'll hang out on Discord. Make sure you're a part of the Discord first of all. But we have a private lounge called After Party Hangout. Every Thursday night, right after the stream, we all head over there and we hang out and have a good time. So if you're interested, check it out. Like I said, there's a free trial for that one. That's the megabyte tier. With that, you also get our monthly movie night access. So you're going to get to watch Gremlins tomorrow. If anyone wants to sign up, now's a great time. You can watch Gremlins with us. We'll do a watch party on Discord. Again, 7 p.m., same time as my live stream. So, yeah, if you have any questions, if y'all join or you're thinking about joining, shoot me a message, Instagram, email, contact@bourbonbites.com. Wherever else you want to reach me, those are probably the best places. But yeah, would love to have y'all. Andy Road says 2XO French Oak is a great first pour of the night of summertime. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, that one is a great starter to begin with in general. It's a step above the American Oak. It's way more complex, way more nuance to it. That's where I feel like is a good starting point for this brand. If you're going to jump onto this brand, maybe skip the American Oak, go straight to the French Oak. See what you think. Tony says the Oak series is intended to be available year-round, all day, every day. Just give it a time to hit your market. Okay, love that. Tribute next. Gotcha. Okay. Phoenix Tribute, Innkeeper, Kiowa, Sneakerhead, I think in order of release. Okay, I wish I had all of those, but I do have Tribute and Sneakerhead, and I'll save the gem for last. So, spoiler, don't feed them after midnight. I watched this movie as a kid, believe it or not, but not as an adult. So I'm really excited. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Tribute blend, shall we? So this one, again, this is a September 2023 release. That is not the bottle. I have too many. All the bottles are the same, so it's very confusing. That's not it either. All right, hold on. We got it. Here we go. Tribute blend. So this one came out end of last year. Will you focus? Come on. It's focusing on my bottles behind me. It's not going to focus, is it? No. Okay. There we go. Oh, man, almost. I think it's the mirrors. I don't know. Anyways, the Tribute blend. Also a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 104 proof. So we're jumping up to 52% ABV. Let's see if we have an age statement potentially. We'll see. No age statement. It says the same thing. Tribute blend is the third release in the ongoing small batch blend series from 2XL, 2 times oak. Each release is unique, created by blending select stocks of my finest barrels and crafted using my double barreling process. The Tribute blend recognizes my family and mentors who have blazed a trail for me. Pay tribute to those who came before you. Love that. I love that sentiment. I love, especially in the world of whiskey making, like there's so many legends in the world of whiskey. Why not pay tribute to them? I'm sure Dixon was trained by some of the best in the industry. Let's see. It's a nod to Dixon's parents and the path they paved for him. Yeah, no additional info here on the website. I sometimes hope that they're going to release a little bit more info on the website. They don't at the moment, so we're just going to go off of this. Price-wise, $100. I paid about $50 or $60, so I got it for about half price. So I'm not upset. I've not tried it, actually. It's going to be a fresh crack. So, like I said, 3 of the 5 bottles I'm trying tonight is going to be a completely first impression. So I'm excited. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? That's a great question. We actually answered it last Christmas because patrons voted that we watched Die Hard last Christmas. So we watched Die Hard. It's our Christmas movie last year. This year we're watching Gremlins. So it should still be a fun time. Get the Innkeeper. Yeah, no, Matthew, I will. Absolutely. Don't get them wet. Never feed them after midnight. Bourbon of the week. Hello, welcome. 27 watching and 18 likes. Click that like button, y'all. Yes, please. We still got 3 whiskeys to go. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button. Is there something I could? No, I don't want that to steal the focus. But all right. So like I said, we don't know too much about this. We know it's higher proof. It's 104 proof, which comes in at 52% ABV. $100, about double the price point. Let's see what goes into the Tribute blend. Okay, Liking the nose. Definitely can tell there's more age here. If anything, that's what's standing out to me. There's a bit more oak, a bit of like a there's like a spiciness, but it's not from the proof. It almost kind of like makes you want to sneeze a little bit. Like it's got a little bit of that like a pepperiness or something. But still got some of those caramel sweetnesses that we got on the American oak was so vanilla that like I didn't get those darker caramel notes, but this one's definitely darker. But there's some spice, but not like a baking spice. Definitely more of like a peppery spice. I don't know if it's like a spicy pepper, like a habanero. I know that's like weird, but like definitely seems like it could be spicy. I'm excited. I like the nose a lot. It's interesting, and that's what I look for a $100 bottle. It's got to be interesting. So yeah, that's not focusing on me, is it? All right, we're moving the bottle. We're moving the bottle. So like I said, $100 tribute blend. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Okay. Well, I do appreciate the higher proof. I think that's one thing that sets it apart. When we were drinking the other ones, I was like, okay, this is nice, but like, where's the proof? Not that everything has to be high proof. I mean, 104 is not necessarily high proof, but you gotta give it room to open up. And if you have it too low of proof, I'm not gonna appreciate it as much as I can. I mean, I've always said like 107 ish is like my perfect proof between 105 and 110. Like that's kind of my like what I aim for if it's not cast strength. This one falls a little bit short of that, but it's still close to that range. Oh, Tony says he's heard comparisons to Willet on the Tribute Blend. I don't know if I'm the good person to speak to that because I'm not the biggest Willet fan. I think Willet has a very distinct flavor note that some people love. I'm just not typically a fan of it, but I do say it has a bit of savoriness. Like I said, I was going like with the spicy pepper kind of thing. It is a little savory. It's definitely not as sweet as like the French oak or the American oak. So I could see why someone could say it has a willet note to it. It's to me it's savory. Yeah, it's even compared to the French oak. It's like what I would interpret as dry, which is hard to say on a bourbon. Like what is dry on a bourbon, but it doesn't have those bright sweet characteristics that you would expect. I almost swallowed it wrong, but I was gonna say there's a tingle because I was saying the French oak was like nutmeg, right? Yeah, the French oak is mellow. This is bright. This is spicy. This is a bit of that cinnamon spice. I know they're using like a high rye mash bill on the American oak and the French oak, so I'm not surprised to see a bit of a cinnamon note come through on the tribute. But it's a very dry, not a sweet. I'm not getting like cinnamon candy like big red gum. I'm getting like dry cinnamon like bark or whatever you call it, like the cinnamon in a jar. That's what I'm getting. Doug says it's a baking spice savory complex and proof helps. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm glad to hear that. Jerry says he prefers the French oak over the tribute. Yeah, I can absolutely see that as well. I don't. I might be with you. Okay, I would be with you if the French oak was higher proof because I love the proof of this tribute. I think it's complex. I think it's unique. I'm not one for a savory bourbon. I love a oaky bourbon, like a drier oaky bourbon. This one does lean a little savory. I'm not upset about that, but it's not something I would. It's not something I would seek out that flavor profile of. So I might be with you, Jerry. Well, I think if you do appreciate more of a savory note, a little bit of like a spicy, whether it's like a cinnamon or like a hot pepper kind of spice, something's interesting happening with the tribute. I just feel like as a bourbon lover, someone that loves a sweeter palate, a little more especially one of those baking spices, less than like the spicy spices. I think I'll have to agree with you, Jerry. I think I prefer the French oak as well. But I do really like that. Oh, earthy notes. Well, yeah, savory, earthy. It's like the same thing. It's like it's anything that's the opposite of those sweet notes that you expect from a bourbon. That's at least how I feel about it. So I think we're on the same page. Oh, thank you. So what's up? Click the like button. Did you? Yes, please do. It's completely free. It helps out. I mean, you guys can join Patreon and help out the channel in some ways, but if you want to support it completely free, you hit that like button. That always helps as well. All right, let's move on. We got 2 more bourbons to try. So we have the Sneakerhead blend, which is the newest release. It came out in October of this year. Has a really cool label on it. Let me show you. No, I'm not much of a sneakerhead. I'm not, I live in LA, which you would think, there's so much sneaker culture here. But I'm not the biggest, like I appreciate a good shoe, don't get me wrong, but I'm not out shopping for, high-end shoes. Again, I appreciate the culture, not quite my jam, but this one's also 104 proof. Now, does it taste like shoe? Let's find out. No, let's see what they say. This is the 5th release in the Icon series, a collection of limited time small batch blends. Each blend is unique, created from blends. So it's, double barreling. The Sneakerhead blend comes from my love and passion for sneaker culture, as well as collectibles that represent one's unique sense of style. Okay, well, that's great to hear. I'm glad to hear that maybe, just a guess, maybe this means that this is kind of what he looks for in a bourbon, right? This is his unique style. I'm really excited to see what he considers a collectible, $100 blended bourbon. I'm excited. Let's see how it is. Let me see if I can find more info on the website. Let's see. Sneaker culture. Yeah, the same thing. Just some tasting notes. No, nothing in addition to the. We don't see any additional info for the mash bill. Does not say it's a different mash bill at all. All the same information. Louisville, Kentucky, Prestige Bottling. So we don't actually know anything else. We just know this is a limited release. I'll say the color on it's beautiful. I mean, this one has definitely some of the darkest color we've seen so far. So I'm excited. I wish I knew more. I'm just I don't know. I think a lot of us whiskey people feel the same, right? We're a bit nerds about it. We want to know, what's in the bottle? What's in the bottle? That's what we want to know. But yeah, I'm excited. Well, you know what I'm also excited for? Matthew Parks becoming the newest bourbon megabyte on the channel. Matthew, thank you so much. That's so awesome. It's been a minute since we've had a new patron, so thank you so much for supporting the channel. It really does mean so much. Like I said, I bought these with my own money, so every dollar helps. I don't quite see it yet on Patreon, but sometimes it takes a minute to go through. Are you on our Discord yet? If not, let me drop a link and let me know what your name is on there. I'll give you status for tonight, even though it may not have fully gone through. I'll get you access to our after party. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so if it's not quite gone through on Patreon, it's all good. Just let me know your name on Discord, and we'll give you status. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about you joining. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, the color of the Sneakerhead, so dark. Wow. Definitely the darkest, even compared to the French Oak. The French Oak is the next darkest, but this one has some beautiful color on it. Again, I wish we knew more about the what was in here. They're very sneakery. Nah, that doesn't work. They're very discreet about what they did. So I wish I knew a little bit more, but let's go ahead and give it a nose. This is gonna sound crazy. It doesn't not smell like shoes. There's some shoe-esque qualities to it, and that makes me feel weird. I know y'all were joking, does it taste like shoes? But there is a bit of that, that new shoe smell. Again, I said I love leather on a bourbon. Leather is one of my favorite notes. Leather, oak, cedar chest, those are my favorite. Old library book. Oh, give me all of it. But there's a little bit of that, new leather. Not old leather. Yeah, wow, okay. Maybe this was just he literally just smelled it and he's it smells like a new shoe. And that's why I was Sneakerhead blend. I don't know. But I will say, it could be power of influence. I can't fully say, but I will say there's a bit of a new leather note on that, and I like it. Is it leathery or plasticky? Well, so far, it's new leather, which is, I feel somewhere in between, right? Old leather is more of that, rustic, that, saddle leather, that, that like vintage kind of note. New leather does have a bit of like what could be interpreted as plasticky. So I don't think you're wrong there, but it's definitely more like a freshly, created leather. Yes, do the Discord. Yes, thank you. Every time I see the sneakerhead bottle name, I think of it snakehead. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely there's definitely a shoe on it. I guess we never knew what was in Kentucky Owl either, so it's par for the course. Yeah, I mean certain people knew, but not everyone. Leather and salt. Oh, like new carbo for shoes. Yes to that, Emily. You're not wrong with that leather and salt kind of thing. It's a little bit like not like a salty, sweaty foot. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't smell like a used shoe. It's a very new smell. Matthew said it could be the rye influence. Rex from the Whiskey Vault once joked about that. Oh, okay, interesting. I didn't watch their videos, so that's good to know. Yeah, really unique nose. But let's see how this sneakerhead. Is it sneakerhead? Now y'all got me confused. What's this one called? Sneaker. That's the tribute. God, these all look the same from the top. That's the American Oak. Here we go. Sneakerhead. Okay, I just want to make sure I was like not misquoting that. Todd said he gets some leather notes as well. Thank you. Thank you for validating my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and give it a taste. Cheers, y'all. Okay. This is my jam. This is in my wheelhouse. This is what I look for in a bourbon. Hell yeah. Leather for sure. Leather. I think the leather may have inspired the name. I do feel like I'm looking for more oak because usually that leather is accompanied by like a nice older oak quality to it. Not quite getting that. I'm getting the leather, which is so interesting. I've never gotten such a new leather note on a bourbon. Loving the proof again. Mid palate's really nice. I do feel like the finish kind of falls off really quickly. I don't get like a longer finish or more complexity beyond that leather, which is a little disappointing to me because I was so excited for this one. I was really ready for this to blow my mind. I smelled that leather. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be my jam. I just feel like it's missing a bit of like the body behind it. It's like the new leather. It's like it's like weird, but it's like it's like a facade, right? Like you open a new pair of shoes and it's like leather. It looks beautiful, but then you look inside and it's made out of like cheap plastic or something. Like not that seems really rude. I'm sorry. Let me. I'm just saying it's not the full experience that I would expect from like a leather forward note because I love that note, one of my favorite notes, but it kind of leaves a lot to be. I don't want to say it leaves a lot to be desired, but I really like the start of it. It starts out so nice. I get so excited, and then I lose it. I wish it would just hang on just a bit longer. Ah, man. It's not bad. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's very quick. Um, Jerry Black, new Bourbon Megabyte member as well. Oh my god, 2 patrons in one night. I feel like that's like never been done since like I launched the Patreon. Y'all are amazing. Thank y'all so much. Again, it's not showing up on my end. Please join the Discord and let me know your name and let me know that you're a patron because I have to upgrade you manually if it's not syncing directly with Discord. That's so awesome. Thank you so much, Jerry, and thank you, everyone that's checking out the Discord tonight. Even if you don't feel like it's the right time for you, like the fact that you go check it out is so awesome. Thank you so much. Am I gonna rank these at the end? Absolutely, of course. Jeffrey Whack in the house. What's up, Jeffrey? Hope you're doing well. Gandy said finish is brief. Okay, thank you. I get a little nervous. I'm like, I don't want people to say like, oh, the finish is so long in my experience. It's brief. It's not bad. It's just very short. Man, I keep because I'm like, at first that tastes so good, but then I lose it. It just kind of dissipates. I don't know. I still think the French oak is trending ahead. I'll rank them at the end, but like we got one more to try before we do the ranking. So let's move on to the one I'm very, very excited to try. This is the most expensive 2XO product that I've ever bought. I don't know if it's even considered a current release. Jim of Kentucky. It's a single barrel series. Oh, okay. This explains something. Okay. So this one that I have right here is Jim of Kentucky. course, 2 times oak by Dixon Dedman. As you all know, they're all the same in terms of that. But this one is barrel number 56. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 108 proof. Same proof as what we've been drinking here. The Gem of Kentucky series is made up of hand-selected single barrels from my proprietary high rye bourbon mash bill. Okay, so it is a custom mash bill he's been working on, which I rebarrel in new oak barrels with varying char levels. Each single barrel expression is unique and bottled just below barrel proof to meet my standards for the most premium releases from 2XO. All right, if you guys have this one, let me know what barrel you have. I have barrel number 56. I see Todd has barrel number 77. Doug said I can get it in my total mind right now. Okay, well, Doug, stick around. Let's see if it's worth it. Again, retail on this one is up there. It's up there. I think it's $200. I didn't pay that. I paid around $140 or $150 at the most. Yeah, 104 proof, so it's not quite cast strength. He claims it's just below, which we'll see. Wow, that's so much darker than all of them. Yeah, that's the darkest so far. The standards are 104 proof. I have 58% and 117 proof. Wow. Okay, Tony, that's a crazy big difference. The standard releases are 104 proof, but you have a 117 proof one. Well, did that cost about the same? Like I said, this was around $200 retail. I definitely didn't pay that because I bought it from K&L and it was on sale. Actually, I'm curious how much I paid for it now that I know that. Kentucky, let's see. I paid $133 for this. So it was previously listed for $180. I bought it for $133. So definitely, more affordable in my price range. Todd's is 108. Oh, barrel. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tony. I misinterpreted what you were saying. I misinterpreted that. Yes. You have barrels number 58 and 117/116. Okay, sorry for misinterpreting. All right. Let's go ahead and nose. This is the Gem of Kentucky. Now, this does say high rye. Let's see what info K&L gives us. K&L usually has got some good info on their website. Let's see. It's the premier offering from 2XO, the only double-barreled, single-barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey on the market. Is that still true? That may have been an older statement. The only double-barrel, single-barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey on the market. Now, doesn't that... Oh, I feel like there was a debate, like on my Discord recently. Because if you were double barreling something and putting it into a single barrel, let's say you take a batch of bourbon that's from like 50 barrels and you blend it and then you put it down into a single barrel, can you call it a single barrel bourbon? I think there's some nuances with like the TTB of that all. I think you can, if I'm not misremembering that. So I'm not making accusations or anything. I'm just saying, if you're doing a double barreling in a single barrel, I think there's some kind of like stuff you can get away with there. I'm not saying he is. All right, so it says this is selected by Dixon from his double-barreled stock of the high rye bourbon mash bill, which has 35%. That's spent up to a year in a new charred oak barrel before bottling. Yeah. Already choked at the price, but Dixon knows what people want. Mine will be $200. Okay. Nah, that was 1,000% an accurate statement that it was the only one. Yes, still single barrel. Okay. I got you. I'm trusting Fred here. Maybe the last barrel rules the name. But I feel like that's not fair. Joe, welcome. Cheers to you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. And thank you, Donnie, for dropping the Patreon link. Fred says it's about the quantity of barrels in the batch, not how many barrels the spirit has been in. Think scotch finished in a wine cask. That's fuzzy math. Hey, Fred's probably right. I heard speculation. I'm not making any accusations, especially about this brand. I've just heard about the fact that, like, if it's double-barreled, can it be a single-barreled? We'll talk about it in the after party. I'd love to hear more info on that, Fred. Save it for the after party. All right, but before then, let's rinse my palate. Let's go in for a taste of the Gem of Kentucky. All right, $200 Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Single barrel. Yeah, the nose is a bit more of a... Definitely dark. The darkness and richness that was missing from some of these is here. Still that nutmeg. It's almost reminiscent of the French oak, but obviously older. A little bit of that pepper too, that like spiciness. I'm excited. All right, let's go ahead and try the Gem of Kentucky. Cheers, y'all. Mm. Oh, there's some old stuff in there. I can just tell on the palate. Yeah, that leather. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That leather finish and that leather mid palate that I was missing from the sneakerhead blend is all the way here. That is some. I can tell that the bourbon in here is older. I can tell that there's some really good quality. Not to say that it's all older. Like they would probably put an age statement on it if it was, but there is some older bourbon in this blend because I'm getting those vintage leather notes. Not that new leather that I was getting on the sneakerhead. Vintage leather, medium to long finish compared to like the very short finish of the sneakerhead. Okay, okay, there's definitely something here. Hmm. I mean, yeah, that's got to be the most flavorful of all of these. Definitely the longest finish. I think the second longest would probably be the French oak, but this is the longest finish of the ones we've had here tonight. Great proof on it. I mean, that's delicious. I really really like this bourbon. The only thing that I don't really like is the price point. I know we're coming from the Kentucky Owl, which was already a premium bourbon, and I get that, and I respect premium bourbons. And as much as I love this release, I think it's delicious. I like it a lot. My favorite of the 2XO lineup. Would I pay $200 for a second bottle of it? I feel like I'm struggling a bit. I feel like I'm struggling a bit because I feel like as much as I like this, I don't think I would pay more. I paid 130 for it on clearance. Even that feels a bit high, but I think 100. Like if this were priced at the point that the sneakerhead and the tribute blend were, I would buy it. Absolutely. I would buy a backup bottle of it. That's how much I really like it. But for double that cost, I struggle to find that it's that much higher value. And I hope you guys are taking that as not like a diss on it, right? Like it's delicious. I love it. My issue is with pricing. And I think a lot of people feel that way about Kentucky Owl in general. You have here a bourbon that will change a lot of people's mind and get them into bourbon, feel like it's more complex, just as complex as some of the scotches at a lower price point. You know, like some people say, like, oh, well, scotch is so much more complex than bourbon. Yes, in a lot of ways it is, but this is one of the more complex bourbons, and I like it a lot. I just think the price point hurts it. If you can find this on sale for 150 or less, buy it. Absolutely, give it a try if you have the budget for it. 200, I hesitate to say recommend buying it for that price because if that's just not quite your jam flavor wise, I don't want you to be disappointed because like Clifton said to buy it. There are some whiskeys that I've said that at that price point are a must buy. They are like absolutely worth it. This doesn't quite meet that bar, but it is a delicious bourbon. That's my personal opinion about it. Love to know what you guys are thinking in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, please let me know. Is Kentucky Owl on clearance yet? I don't know. So yeah, Kentucky Owl. The only experience I've had with that was the the St. Patrick's Day release that came out, and then it confiscated, of course. I think I may have had some of the lower end mixers as well, but you know, got yours for 100. Oh yes, great price. Yeah, I would buy another one for 100. I think it's a great bourbon. 100, I think, is a very very fair price point for it. I just it's sold out now. I can't buy it for another 130. But yeah. Tony said I paid 150 for my first and full price begrudgingly for the second. Yeah. Uh okay, yeah. Fred and Donnie are talking about something that they missed. But yeah, no, I love it. Just think it's overpriced. So lastly, I will rank these. I know people have been asking what are my favorites. Considering price, I love to consider price in this because I think that affects value. My favorite, considering price, believe it or not, is the one I keep referencing over and over again. the French oak. This one, I think for 40, I think I paid 45 for it, is a really good expression of what can be done with a second maturation, a second oaking. Now they did like a chain of I assume not staves, but maybe chips. I'm not exactly sure how they did it. This really does impress. It really takes the flavor of what you expect from a younger bourbon, elevates it, adds that spices to it, not cinnamon, but more of like a nutmeg spice. That's actually my favorite considering price and everything. Second favorite actually goes to, as much as I complain about the price, Gem of Kentucky. It's a fantastic bourbon. I would be very, very happy to consider this one of my best whiskeys I've tried all year. I just think the price is the only thing that's holding it back from, potentially not making that list. Tasting wise, though, delicious. If you can find it for $150 or less, give it a try. If you have a reason to celebrate and splurge and pay $200, go for it, but don't be mad at me if you don't think it's worth it. So that's my top two. Third place actually would be Sneakerhead. I think it's fun. I love that new leather flavor on it. $100 is a bit steep on price. Do I wish it had more going on for it flavor-wise? Absolutely. Do I wish it had a finish? Yes. But that upfront flavor, every time I try it, I literally go, So that says something. That does say something for me. Next, a close one to that one would be the Tribute Blend. I love that there was a little bit more cinnamon, a little bit more spice on this one. Love that it's 104 proof. Going back to the nose. This one is so close. This one and the Sneakerhead, it would be hard for me. I think on another day I might put the Tribute above the Sneakerhead. I think they're both pretty on par, a bit pricey, but yeah, I like them both. Last place for me tonight, unfortunately, has to go to the American Oak. It's fine. I would drink it. I would gladly drink it. Do I think it's worth the price point? I don't think so. I think I can find a very similar bourbon for around $20. Maybe 23, 24. So almost half the price. It's not bad. It just wouldn't be where I start. If I'm going to try to impress someone and lean someone into this brand, I would not start with the American Oak. I would start with the French and work my way up from there. But again, not a bad bourbon. Could drink this any day. Just think it's a bit pricey. So that's my thoughts. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I know some of you guys have more releases. I see more mentions of the Kiowa. Gandhi says, I agree with your order, but Kiowa is the best for me. I will keep an eye out. One, the name means a lot to me, being from South Carolina. Two, you're raving about it, so I got to try it. So really, really excited to try more. Again, 5 releases. I've never reviewed this brand before on the channel. I'm so excited I did this. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed an honest first impression. If you did, hey, make sure to please hit the thumbs up button and please subscribe on your way out. Again, if you're here on Thursday evenings, even if it's not every Thursday, just tune in. I'm here most Thursdays. So next week is the big one, though. The top 10 whiskeys of 2024, helped picked by my patrons. So thank y'all so much for watching. I see y'all dropping your Patreon names, those of you that did join Discord tonight, or dropping your Discord names, you joined Patreon tonight. I will make sure that I give you your status. You can join us in the after party. Make sure to check out, go under Patreon exclusive in the channels and click after party hangout. You may have to close out and reopen. You have to accept your camera permission and your microphone permissions. Sometimes it's a little wonky, but we'll be patient. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next week. If I don't, happy holidays, but hopefully you will tune in for my best whiskeys of the year. I'm very, very excited. I will say there are some shockers in there. Some very affordable shockers is all I got to say. Cheers, y'all. Happy Thursday. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. All right. Bye, y'all. Why is my thing not loading? Oh, no. Hold on. I had a glitch. Let's see. Oh, it's not doing my outro. Shoot. I'll just do it manually. Okay. One second. All right. Here we go. All right. Thank y'all. Bye.